Xiaoji, known to her followers as Zizi, the lingerie queen, stared at the sales dashboard, the glowing red numbers a stark contrast to the soft, blush-pink walls of a home office. Her online boutique, Lace and Logic, specialized in intimate apparel for couples, a niche market that demanded not just quality products but a certain aspirational lifestyle. 20% down, she muttered, running a hand through her sleek, dark hair. If this keeps up, I'll be selling my own collection just to pay the rent. The culprit was clear: Yu Jia, her former best friend and now fiercest rival, whose live streams with her impossibly muscled, perpetually grinning boyfriend were crushing Zizi's market share. The couple's manufactured chemistry was sickeningly effective. "I need a man," Zizi declared to the empty room, the words echoing with a mix of desperation and theatrical flair. Not just any man, but a contract man. A temporary professional boyfriend to inject some much-needed reproduction humanity contributing energy into her brand. She picked up her phone, the screen displaying a message from her assistant, Chi-Chi. "Moshi Moshi. Zizi, how's the contract boyfriend hunt going?" Zizi sighed, sinking into her ergonomic chair. "Don't even start. I need a guy who's 6'1", has a six-pack, a narrow waist, and a face that could launch 1,000 ships. Where am I supposed to find that on a contract budget?" The universe, it seemed, was listening, and it had a darkly ironic sense of humor. The next afternoon, Zizi found herself at a small, independent coffee shop, the kind of place she usually avoided for its lack of reliable Wi-Fi and its overly earnest clientele. She was there to meet a potential supplier, but her mind was elsewhere, calculating the cost-benefit analysis of a 6-month contract. A voice, low and familiar, cut through the gentle clatter of ceramic mugs. "Su-Iye. Write a 15-word positive review. Include 3 photos of the shop. You can try the new cake for free." Zizi froze. That name. It was a ghost from her past, a constellation she hadn't looked at in years. She turned slowly, and there he was. Taller than she remembered, broader in the shoulders, his face a study in quiet, almost melancholy beauty. He was wearing a simple, slightly stained apron, his hands moving with practiced efficiency as he wiped down the counter. "Su-Iye," she breathed, the name tasting like dust and old textbooks. "You're a barista here?" He didn't look up immediately. When he did, his eyes, the same deep, intelligent eyes she remembered, held a flicker of something unreadable. "Not exactly. More of a part-time handyman." "Don't ask. And you, Xiaoji? You still remember my name?" The old, familiar sting of their high school dynamic returned. He was the quiet genius, the one she'd always copied physics homework from. She, the popular girl who never quite understood the depth of his struggle. "Yes, I've seen your live streams," he continued, his tone flat. "So, you were buying lingerie for your girlfriend and stumbled upon my shop by accident?" The sarcasm was a sharp, unexpected jab. "Of course," she retorted, forcing a smile. "The perfect man is always taken. I was still dreaming of conquering that 6'3" guy with the broad shoulders, narrow waist, and a perfect butt." She caught herself, the internal monologue spilling out. "Xiaoji, what are you thinking?" He just watched her, a faint, almost imperceptible curve to his lips. The moment was too perfect, too strange to ignore. She leaned in, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Su-Iye. Your family was poor, but you always had a beautiful face. Listen. If you agree to be my contract boyfriend, I'll cover your tuition and living expenses. What do you say?" He blinked, the proposal clearly catching him off guard. "No need," he said, a shadow crossing his face. "Don't be ungrateful." "Ungrateful. It's been a long time, Xiaoji. Are you doing well?" She realized he was deflecting, perhaps embarrassed by her offer, or perhaps by his current circumstances. But the desperation of her business was a stronger force than her social awkwardness. "Look," she said, pulling out her phone. "You already know about my live streams. I sell those small clothes. I desperately need a streaming partner, And you fit the bill perfectly. I want to hire you. She saw the hesitation in his eyes, the calculation. It's a generous salary, she pressed. 10 times your hourly wage here. 222 yuan an hour. And we're old classmates. Give me a break, okay? He was silent for a long moment, his gaze fixed on a point just over her shoulder. Let me think about it. I'm in a bind, Su-Ye. I need an answer today. Finally, he nodded, a slow, deliberate movement. I can do it. A wave of relief washed over her, quickly followed by a rush of adrenaline. Great. Just one thing. For the 6 months of the contract, you can't date anyone else. He raised an eyebrow, a silent question. No, she clarified, a sudden, inexplicable possessiveness rising in her chest. For the next 6 months, whenever we're together, we have to pretend to be a couple. The fans are sharp. If we're going to fake it, we have to do it well. He agreed, his voice calm. Send me the address. I want to see the workplace first. Su-Ye arrived at her apartment later that evening. The place was a chaotic mess of inventory, camera equipment, and half-eaten takeout, a testament to Zizi's single-minded focus on her business. I've been too busy to clean, she admitted, gesturing vaguely at the clutter. He surveyed the room with an unnerving calm. You're a genius, Xiaji. You do everything fast and well. Have you eaten? She asked, suddenly conscious of her role as the employer. No. The kitchen is over there. I already ordered, he said, pulling out his phone. Since your assistant quit, you'll need a new one. You can take over her job too, right? She blinked. You mean, on top of the live streams? Don't worry, he said, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. I'll pay you the market rate for an assistant. Editing videos, handling my daily schedule, driving me around. It's all very simple. She felt a pang of guilt, realizing she was acting the part of the ruthless capitalist. If you have any demands, speak up. He paused, his eyes sweeping over the apartment again, lingering on the closed door of the guest room. My lease is up. Do you offer housing? Your guest room seems empty. You want to live with me? The question burst out, laced with a surprise she couldn't hide. Yes. If I work full-time, the coffee shop offers room and board. I have to consider it. Zizi's mind raced. Living with Su-Ye. The proximity, the forced intimacy. It was a terrible idea for her peace of mind, but a brilliant one for their on-screen chemistry. Fine, she conceded, trying to sound nonchalant. You can stay. Consider it done. I can start today. Finally settled, she said, clapping her hands together. To celebrate your new job and strengthen our chemistry, I'm taking you out to dinner tomorrow. We'll go to that spicy noodle bar near the old school. Then, a walk around Hungmu. How about it? I work at the cafe tomorrow. I get off at 6. Perfect. I'll pick you up. What do you say? Sounds good. I'll wait. Great. She paused, a sudden thought striking her. Just add me on WeChat. I won't bother you constantly, I promise. Just add me, please. Please. He took her phone, his fingers brushing hers, sending a small, unexpected jolt up her arm. Almost forgot, she murmured to herself as he walked away. Su-Ye and I are a fictional couple. Tomorrow is the premiere. If they find out we haven't had any contact before this, the whole thing will fall apart. The legend is meticulous. The next day, Zizi waited for Su-Ye outside the cafe, a nervous energy thrumming beneath her carefully constructed composure. A woman approached him, her face a mask of annoyance. My boyfriend is here, Zizi announced, striding forward and slipping her arm through Su-Ye's. Stop bothering him, or I'll call the police. The woman, stunned, backed away. I'll find a place to wait for you to get off work, Zizi said, pulling him away. Right there is Hongmu High School, she said, pointing across the street. Want to take a look? No, he replied simply. Come on, she cajoled, pulling him toward the gates. I just want to reminisce about my youth. About the guy I had a crush on in high school. Just a quick walk. I don't want to, he insisted, stopping dead. If you want to reminisce, go ahead. I'll wait out here. Reminisce about who? She challenged, her curiosity piqued. I heard you had a rumor boyfriend. A rumor boyfriend. She ignored his protest and dragged him inside. The familiar scent of old wood and chalk dust filled her lungs. Quick, quick, she said, suddenly remembering a moment. Physics representative. Physics homework. He looked at her, his expression softening slightly. Copying homework isn't right. You weren't being responsible. I copied it, but you gave it to me, didn't you? But you never asked me to explain the exercises. Why? The question hung in the air, heavy with 7 years of unspoken history. Why do you react like that to Chen Wei-lin? She asked, changing the subject, referring to the former class representative. Someone might think he owes you something. Exactly, Su Ye said, his voice hardening. He does owe me. How much? 50. Zizi laughed, a genuine, unforced sound. Fine, fine. Didn't I say I'm treating tonight? I'm afraid I'll forget to pay you, and you'll hold a grudge. If Chen Wei-lin owes you 50 and you remember it for 7 years. You think I dislike Chen Wei-lin just because of 50 yuan? Then why? He didn't answer, just watched her, and Zizi had a sudden startling thought. How can he be so cute even when he's angry? Come on, she said, shaking off the thought. We need to develop some chemistry before the cameras. Are you tricking me? He asked, his eyes narrowing. Tricking you about what? That you have a boyfriend and you're tricking me into thinking you don't, just to steal my job opportunity? I don't have one. I just don't want to. Don't want to what? Please. We have less than 2 hours until we're a couple. You're my contracted partner at 222 yuan an hour. Can you make me feel like you're worth it? Let's practice a hug, she suggested, her heart pounding a nervous rhythm against her ribs. He hesitated. Xiaji, what do you mean by that? You're not pulling your weight. I can replace you at any moment. Xiaji, he said, his voice low and serious. Let's try again. For a better effect. Can I touch you during the process? Of course, she said, her breath catching. Just don't touch any private parts. Fine. Let's go again. He stepped closer, his scent, coffee and something clean, like rain, enveloping her. He put his hands on her shoulders, his gaze intense. Xiaji, look at me. She looked, and the world narrowed to the space between them. His eyes, she remembered, were the subject of much gossip in high school. They were said to be more passionate than a puppy's. Look at me, he repeated, his voice barely a whisper. What's wrong? She asked, pulling back abruptly. Ah, forget it, forget it. No more practice. The chemistry was there, undeniable and electric, but it was too much, too soon. It was the kind of chemistry that could burn down her carefully constructed lace and logic empire. My condition returned. My God, I wouldn't let go of Su Ye. Who has touch deprivation after all? She whispered to herself. I'm sorry, she said, her voice filled with genuine remorse. I apologize for my inappropriate behavior. I caused you to have a relapse. It must hurt a lot, right? You can relieve it by hugging colleagues, family, or friends. My home situation is a bit complicated, he said, his voice distant. It's not very convenient. I just arrived here. I don't have many friends or known colleagues. Besides, most of them are guys. It might not be so good. Zizi remembered the gossip from high school. His mother died young, his father remarried, he lived with his aunt and uncle. What a shame, she murmured. I don't know what he was like when he had flare-ups. How did I get through this? She watched him, his shoulders tense, his expression a mask of controlled pain. Suiye, what's wrong? I'm fine. It just seems my condition is back. Then come here, she said, her decision instantaneous. Does this help a little? Can I hug you? He didn't move, but his eyes, wide and vulnerable, gave her permission. She stepped forward and wrapped her arms around him, a purely platonic, comforting embrace. Damn. I think I forgot to pay the electricity bill. The lights flickered and died, plunging the apartment into darkness. Suiye, she whispered in the sudden silence. Are you feeling better? Do you still need a hug? Don't move, he said, his voice muffled against her shoulder. Let me hug you a little longer. The darkness, the silence, the simple, desperate contact. It was a moment of pure, unscripted intimacy. Are you feeling better now? Yes. That's good. I'm going to edit the video then. Okay. Zizi pulled away, her heart still racing. Hugging Suiye is kind of strange. What's wrong with me? The fragile peace of their cohabitation was shattered by a message from Chi-Chi. Gigi, look at this. Yu Jia wrote a post defaming you. Yu Jia was claiming Zizi sold fake products and had manipulated photos. The betrayal cut deep. In high school, weren't you too close? Suiye asked, watching her face. She used to be my best friend, Zizi said, her voice tight with suppressed anger. But she knew I liked Chen Weilin. She also... Gigi, look, Yu Jia had written in a private message years ago. I told you a long time ago that Chen Weilin has an engineer's profile. Cold and insensitive. You should have stayed away from him a long time ago. Zizi remembered the confrontation. Yu Jia, her face twisted with resentment, had confessed her own 3-year crush on Chen Weilin and accused Zizi of getting everything without trying. You think you were nice to me? Yu Jia had spat. You were just giving me crumbs. I'm prettier than you. More hardworking, too. But everyone only sees you, Xiaji. Even the person I like. He likes you too. Why? I've liked Chen Weilin for 3 years. You barely know him. Someone like Chen Weilin is for you. We're not friends anymore, Zizi concluded, the memory still raw. I open an online store, she does too. I do live streams, she does too. Even the customers I approach, she tries to steal. Do you really like Chen Weilin? Suiye asked, his voice carefully neutral. I like him, Zizi lied, the words tasting like ash. I don't even want those unfaithful men for free. We need to deal with Yu Jia's online comments, Zizi said, snapping back to business mode. Didn't we film the sample of the new lingerie? Let's do a live stream now to open and verify. Fact in the face. The live stream was a tense, high-stakes affair. Zizi presented the quality report, but Suiye, usually so composed, seemed distracted. Suiye, that line is wrong, Zizi hissed under her breath. Weren't you supposed to cooperate fully? People look, Zizi continued, forcing a smile. The texture of this fabric is great. They're all light and breathable, right? Yes, Suiye said, finally finding his footing. They are great. Thank you all. Just as the stream was winding down, Zizi's assistant, Chi-Chi, connected. Lately, the doctor said my liver is too hot. Chi-Chi's voice boomed over the speakers. I really need his male hormones. I'm going to follow the doctor's recommendations. I'm going to have a friendly exchange of hormones with my genius. Zizi's face flushed crimson. Chi-Chi. Off the air. With the brain Yu Jia has, Zizi muttered to Suiye, trying to regain her composure. Wanting to compete with me. She still has a long way to go. Hormones. Friendly exchange. It's for the show, Suiye said, a ghost of a smile returning. Gigi, you said you're lacking hormones, Chi-Chi's voice returned, now a private message. It seems Suiye isn't pulling his weight, right? I'll stop talking. I'm taking you out to eat something good tonight, friend. Ah, you don't need to wait for me for dinner tonight, Zizi replied, realizing Suiye had heard the message. You're eyeing him, aren't you? Chi-Chi pressed. The handsome high school friend with that 6'3" waist. Who's eyeing him? Stop it. No need to pretend. Maybe it's better to sleep with him first. Who knows, maybe you two will have fun, and he'll even charge you less for the salary. Sleeping with the assistant is not a rule here, Zizi said, her heart hammering. Besides, we're not that intimate. But dating is possible. I don't feel it yet. What a drag. I won't sleep, Chi-Chi insisted. At least a little affection. Come on, I'll take you out to have some fun. Zizi hung up, her mind reeling. The line between contract and reality was blurring, and the physics of attraction was proving far more complicated than any high school equation. The following evening, Zizi and her friend Yuan found themselves at a trendy bar, the air thick with the scent of expensive liquor and the low thrum of electronic music. Zizi was still reeling from the events of the past few days, the live stream drama, the touch deprivation revelation, and the unsettling blurring of lines with Su Ye. Yuan, where is that handsome friend you mentioned? Zizi asked, trying to distract herself. He'll be here soon, Yuan replied, her eyes scanning the entrance. Ah, there he is. Sister Xiaji, this is my boyfriend. The introduction was quickly overshadowed by a familiar, unwelcome presence. Xiaji. Can we talk alone? It was Chen Weilin, the ghost of her high school crush, the man who had inadvertently caused so much of her current drama. I have nothing to say to you, Zizi said, her voice cool. Please, Xiaji. Let's talk for real. I have something important to tell you. She gave him 10 minutes, no more. He started with an apology, a clumsy, belated attempt to clear the air about the class reunion. I'm sorry for what I did. Truly. Then came the bombshell. I want to explain something. Back then, Yu Jia and I were nothing. I don't understand why you suddenly distanced yourself from me. He confessed to borrowing money, buying concert tickets, and a gift, all of which he had asked Yu Jia to deliver to Zizi. Zizi's world tilted. What? But I never received anything. The pieces clicked into place with a sickening finality. Yu Jia had intercepted everything, even fabricating a note where Zizi supposedly rejected Chen Weilin's advances. The betrayal was deeper, more calculated than Zizi had ever imagined. Even so, Chen Weilin pressed, his voice earnest. Now that we've cleared the air, could you give me another chance? Zizi looked at him, and for the first time, she saw not the unattainable crush of her youth, but a man who was simply too late. I can't. I don't like your type anymore. Is it about Su Ye? He asked, his tone shifting from apologetic to suspicious. I've been following your store. I know you and Su Ye are working on a script, but have you investigated this guy? He's not as simple as you think. He then showed her a grainy video, claiming it was Su Ye with a wealthy married woman at a private exhibition. Maybe he's really going through hard times, Chen Weilin sneered. But don't be selfish by holding him back. Zizi felt a cold knot tighten in her stomach, but she refused to let Chen Weilin see her doubt. That's none of your business, Chen Weilin. I gave you 7 years, and what was the result? You still didn't win me over. She stood up, her composure ironclad. You have no right to try to win over Xiaji. Because you didn't finish high school? Because of your family? Or because of your job at the coffee shop, earning a few thousand? Su Ye's voice, though absent, echoed in her mind. Then see for yourself. See how I win with a bad hand. Then see for yourself, Zizi said, echoing the sentiment. I exchanged with Su Ye, willingly. The next day, Zizi returned home to find Su Ye packing a small bag. Su Ye, she said, her voice tight. You left work early today. I haven't seen you much at home lately. Yes, he replied, avoiding her gaze. The store had layoffs recently. So I tried to stand out. Layoffs? Not you, right? Yes. I was laid off. A strange mix of relief and concern washed over her. It's okay. Now you can be my full-time assistant, and you'll earn more than at the coffee shop. You seem happy about me being fired, he noted, a faint bitterness in his voice. Of course not. I'm not happy at all, she lied, then sighed. Okay, I admit it. I need a full-time assistant, and you were fired at the right time. I'm quite happy. It's like the universe is conspiring in my favor. But the conversation quickly turned serious. Our contract is for 6 months. If this is my main job, I want something more stable. What if you dismiss me one day? It won't happen, she promised. Even if the live stream doesn't work out, you'll still have the assistant position. I won't fire you. Unless you find a better job. There's one exception, he said, his eyes finally meeting hers. If you fall in love, then you can't be my assistant. After all, she said, trying to keep the tone light, with a handsome guy like you around, it's hard not to get ideas. If you fall in love, what happens? If I stay with him, it's because I really like him. Then you can't be my assistant because I need to give him a lot of security. After all, you're handsome and have a great body. You're too dangerous. I can't let you near me and make my boyfriend jealous. So if I date, I'm always at risk of losing my job, he summarized, a wry smile playing on his lips. It seems so. Then I promise that for the next 2 years, I won't date. Good. Agreed. Now, get to work. The following morning, Zizi collapsed, a sudden wave of dizziness washing over her. She woke up to Su Ye's concerned face. Take this, he said, handing her a glass of water and a piece of chocolate. It must be hypoglycemia. I've already scheduled an appointment with a specialist at the municipal hospital for you. Rest early tonight. I'll take you to the hospital tomorrow. The doctor, a kindly older woman, delivered a cryptic diagnosis. Young lady, you have too much heat in your liver, but you are stronger on top and weaker below. And now, what do I do? Zizi asked, bewildered. The doctor smiled knowingly. The man who came with you is your boyfriend, right? Let him help you more often at night. If your partner doesn't take the initiative, you can. It's okay. After all, your health is the most important thing. Zizi's face burned. Outside the consultation room, she tried to deflect Su Ye's questions. What did the doctor just say? She just said I'm weak, and I need to take medicine on time. You were laughing just now, weren't you? She accused, seeing the faint amusement in his eyes. I saw that when I said fake. You smiled so much, didn't you? You've turned into a robot again, she pouted. I hate you. You're like a block of ice. What should I do then? You don't hate me. Try to smile more, okay? Such a beautiful face, but cold as ice. You're practically an air conditioner. Okay, then smile. Let me see. Give me a smile, I'll give you 200. He gave her a small, genuine smile, a rare, breathtaking sight. I'll transfer 200 to you right now, she said, her heart doing a strange flip. You look beautiful when you smile. Smile like that in the next live stream, too.